Hi, this is Smash Rundown. If you enjoy movie reviews and trailer reactions, you're at the right place. So why not subscribe and hit the like button down below.
Today we're going to be reviewing the new Mortal Kombat movie. Mortal Kombat is a martial arts film directed by McQuoid, based on the video game franchise of the same name. Lewis Tan plays Cole Young, Jessica McNamee plays Sonya Blade, Josh Lawson plays Kano, Joe Taslim plays Sub-Zero, Mikael Brooks plays Jax, Hiroyuki Sanada plays Scorpion, Ludi Lin plays Liu Kang, and Max Hun plays Kung Lao.
Mortal Kombat follows MMA fighter Cole Young as he's called to test his might against the forces of the Outworld in Mortal Kombat. He's joined by Liu Kang, Kung Lao, Sonya Blade, and Jax, and together they are Earth's only hope. Should Earth fighters lose this final battle, the Elder Gods will allow the Outworld forces to invade our realm and destruction will ensue. That takes us to the good. What I really liked about the movie, and it was actually quite surprising, was that Scorpion and Sub-Zero were the main characters.
Yeah, and I literally could have had a movie just on them. We could have taken every other character out and I would have been so happy.
Yeah.
The casting in general was really, really good. From Jax to Liu Kang, Sonya Blade, everybody was really, really good. I especially liked Kanu. He's a character like you really like to hate him. He's a survivor and he's funny and you can see he's the bad guy and he's going to betray everyone, and he was awesome.
I was kind of disappointed he betrayed everyone, but I mean...
He's the bad guy.
I think character development in general was really good.
Yeah, surprisingly.
Especially the opening scene. I don't want to say too much because if you
spoil.
haven't seen it, it is so cool.
Yes.
Makes you really feel for the characters, and I think that was missing in the 95 movie because there was very little actual character development. Here you felt for most of the characters.
Yes.
And I think they did a good job considering what a big cast they had and how many characters they portrayed.
In saying that, all the characters got a surprising amount of screen time, a surprising amount of growth. Of course, with so many characters getting the limelight, characters like Melina, I think it was Melina, didn't get as much as I might have liked, but still really good.
I think it's understandable because, you know, it's impossible to get everyone the same amount of airtime.
Yes.
But considering how many characters they had, I think they managed to develop most of them in a surprisingly interesting way.
I think overall the character development was aided by actually a good story. I was surprised because it's Mortal Kombat. You're expecting a beat 'em up thing. And there was really a narrative that ran throughout that was engaging and fun and enjoyable.
I think the 1995 one, that first, I don't know, hour, 45 minutes, I completely block it out. So every time I rewatch it, I'm like, oh, they do this for this long?
Yeah.
Because usually the only thing I remember is the actual fight in the end.
Yes.
So they've obviously done so much better because I'm definitely going to remember the opening scene.
Yes. Most of the movie very much stands out because even the talking parts, the slower parts, the exposition parts have something to drag you in. Whether it's Kano joking about it or mocking everyone, or Cole Young coming to realization and trying to grow and move forward. It's all very engaging.
Yeah.
And then the fights are so good.
Yeah, they hit so hard during the fights. I was cringing a little bit, so if you're a bit squeamish, it's okay to look away, I think, because sometimes...
Actual fatalities.
Yeah.
Best thing about this movie for a Mortal Kombat fan, I'm imagining, is the actual fatalities. They are the lines you expect scattered throughout, like flawless victory and get over here by Scorpion, but the fatalities were gruesome and exactly what you expect.
A little bit much sometimes for me. But still so cool. I think if they did it any other way, they would be letting down the fans.
Yes.
I was also really happy that they had quite cool arenas for the end fights. It felt like different places, just like the game does.
Yes. And speaking about the arenas at the end, brings us to the bad. Because the story was so packed and there was so much happening throughout it, when it got to that point of the story, it felt like they quickly rushed it to get to the end of the movie to finish up everything because they kind of the runtime got away from them. So for me personally, the end felt incredibly rushed. Good, but very rushed.
I like the way they did the end because of the speed. It made it feel like all of those final fights were happening at the same time. And I feel like that rushed feeling just aided in that, oh, okay, this is simultaneous.
Yes, but it was a huge climax with no resolution afterwards. It was a huge climax, okay, we're done. Which I just wanted a little bit of a longer tail end to it.
And then something else for me, not that I can really complain about it, one of my favorite characters died. He was so cool, I was so disappointed. But we're not going to say how or who, it's just like, oh.
So overall, I'm not a big Mortal Kombat game player. I don't really know much of the history of it, but it feels like it was pretty true to the game. I'm sure you can list hundreds of reasons why it's not, and if you want to, please go into the comments, let us know. But for me, it felt like a Mortal Kombat game. It felt like a Mortal Kombat movie. It was intense. It was hard-hitting, and it was really enjoyable. And really, if they're going to make more, and by the looks of it, the way it ends, they could definitely make more. Can they give us like a couple of Sub-Zero, Scorpion movies in between? Just focus on those characters, purely in subtitles, and I'd be so happy.
As far as ratings go, I'm going to give it an 8.
I'm going to give it an 8 as well.
So that leaves it with an 8, which is really good.
Yeah.
And just in terms of who will enjoy watching it, I think if you're a Mortal Kombat fan, if you enjoy fighting movies, because there was some really cool fights. And the hits were so hard, it was kind of hard to watch at some points.
Yeah.
It was so cool. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.
Later.